To start the second case study of the Indie Film Lounge. If any of you back there are some seats up here. Please come forward. I see people way back there. You back there, way at the back. Come on forward. Do you love when you point to someone and they're like, me? Come on out. Come on out. I'm so happy today. Our case study yesterday went very well. We were very excited about it. And today we have a documentary. We also have the director Joel Goldberg. We have José Duranalo. And we have Jorge Parra with the Samba Squad. And we have Jason Charters, one of the producers from Ridley Films. Over to you, Alberta.
Great, thank you. Thanks. We're thrilled to be here today. And it's actually the only time that I have ever seen Jorge and Jose sitting still. Because as members of Samba Squad, you might all be familiar with what Samba Squad is. If you're not, we'll tell you a little bit, but you really need to watch the movie, which will be coming up on Vision September the 20th. We're doing an event. David, what is the date of the broadcast again? I always forget. 28th. 30th. You know, the problem is, you make a film and it takes like 4 years to get there, and then suddenly everything just goes bleh. But anyway, I was lucky enough that Samba Squad was one of the first films that I commissioned for Vision TV. And in fact, I mean, since what we're doing in this case study is really talking about sort of how things get made, there's maybe I'll start just by telling a tiny little bit of the story about why we decided to put money behind this project. You know, a commissioning editor like me gets somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 things pitched to you every year. That's the ideas that are run in front of you to decide what you're going to do, what you're going to make, what you're going to put your money behind. And when I started my job, there were literally like stacks of things waiting to be looked at. It was extremely daunting. There's a little videotape, because that was so long ago we were still using videotape. You realize that? That's how old we are now. Anyway, so there was a little videotape, and I thought, oh, what's this? And I put it in, and it was a little video of Samba Squad. And it was fantastic. People were walking by my office, they were like, what's that? And I'm up and I'm dancing around, it's great. We were like, I love that thing, put that thing on again. So we thought, we don't even do, Vision doesn't do shorts, and we don't do videos, but we loved that video. We just thought, oh, it made us happy every time we put it on. So we thought, well, let's just get it, and we'll start putting it on every once in a while where there are little gaps in the schedule or whatever. And every time we put it on, we were happy for all of that time. And then what happened was this was our introduction to Riddle Films with Jason and his partner Leah. We said, we like those Riddle Films guys. And they had a proposal for a documentary that they'd sent in. And it was a documentary on Nathaniel Dett, fantastic composer. A story that hadn't been told. Nathaniel Dett was the grandson of a slave. He became one of the heads of music department, very, very important university in the United States, Oberlin. He was an incredible composer, and it was just a story that had not been told. And Brainerd Lyman Taylor and the Nathaniel Dett Chorale were starting up. We thought, well, these guys know what they're doing, because like, here's this Samba Squad video, and it's making everybody dance. So we said, right, we went into deal with you guys on Nathaniel Dett. And we said, well, we like working with you so much, why don't we do some more film? What else should we do? And we decided that we were going to do 3 altogether. Yeah. And one of the films, we said, well, let's do something longer with Samba Squad. And I'm going to let you, because I was made it all sound incredibly simple. Because basically these guys just spend their lives dancing around and cutting bills, and they send it to you, and it's all that's really not true. So why don't you tell some of the harder parts?
Okay, I feel like I'm on an episode of This Is Your Life. That was it. That was the story. Yeah, basically, in some ways it was kind of that simple. And there's obviously a ton of hard work that went into each of the projects that we did. But I guess maybe I'll explain a little bit from my end, and then probably Joel can finish the story off. But for Liam and I, we both had been working other jobs. This was going back maybe 6 years ago or so. Corporate jobs. I actually used to work for the Toronto Film Festival for a while. I was an actor, all sorts of things, and we would do music videos on the side together. Liam had been doing them longer than me, but then actually through Joel, I met Liam. And I literally started as a production assistant, and then became a production manager and an assistant director, and then a co-producer with Liam. And we were doing these projects on the side, and actually one of them was this video with SAMBA Squad. And as Alberta said, we did another one with the Nathaniel Deckerell, and that sort of became a model for us when we started the company, was literally, let's take, we work primarily in music and in the arts, and we said, let's take an artist, let's take a musician or a band, and we'll do a 5-minute video. We can raise enough money to spend 1 day shooting and editing. We can't probably raise enough money to do something longer than that, but that we know we can do. And then we'll see if we can take that and turn it into something that's, you know, grander. And so literally from the very beginning, when we looked at different people to work with, we were already starting to look at who's somebody that not just, you know, wouldn't just make a great 5-minute video, but would actually make a wonderful story. And we'll start with the video and see where we get. And SAMBA Squad obviously certainly fills that role as well. And literally that's what happened. We started a company based on all of this. We quit our jobs and we said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make arts films. And
they're still in business.
Whose brilliant idea that was. But I mean, the most extraordinary thing is that we've been lucky enough to this point to we get to spend most of our time working with people like the people in SAMBA Squad and the Nathaniel Deckerell and other groups and artists that we work with. And Joel can probably...
Yeah, actually, we're going back in time.
We really are. Joel was born in... no.
But it was even more organic than that. And I'd just like to point out that the film is about SAMBA Squad and about this amazing street-level success story. These people who used to play in the street and now playing big halls and gigs. But it's a film about multiculturalism as well. And it's a film about the success and the wonderful aspects, of all the good aspects of multiculturalism. If you see the band, it's multiracial, multi-age. The oldest person's about 60, the youngest person's about 10. And it all started when I was walking down the street, literally. And you know, Jason sort of alluded to these coincidences that happen. And I was walking down the street, I saw these people banging these drums, and the energy and adrenaline that was coming out of them made me crazy. It was fantastic. And it was about 40 people. It was Richmond and Spadina. And I knew one of the people, Desiree Marshall. She was an editor who I knew. And I said, Des, what the hell is this? And she said, it's SAMBA Squad. And this guy over here, Rick Lazar, teaches us how to play drums. And we just come out in the street and we play. So I said, who can I talk to? And she sent me to Sandra Flores, I think, who was doing the
Kitty Cat.
Kitty Cat. She was doing the PR at the time. Then I called Liam and I said, we've got to do a video for these guys. Liam and Jason put together a proposal. I think it was Bravo Fact.
Initially, it was Bravo.
Initially, Bravo Fact gave us money to do it. Did the music video. That's how Liam and Jason first hooked up, because I was in need of an assistant director. And I said, Jason, have you ever been an assistant director on a shoot? And he said, no. I said, oh, you're hired. And then the rest of the blanks have been filled in by Alberta and Jason. One thing led to another. Vision loved the video. We talked about making more of a documentary, and it happened. I mean, it was so organic and so wonderful, a series of